Because I know a guy who actually wants to do this. Yeah, he told us, he's like, yeah, I'm setting up a TikTok streaming studio in China. So yeah, let's check it out. This one's all about training camps. I'm sure there's going to be scams involved.
A live streamer in China? Well, look no further. Just stumble upon one of these underground training camps that'll have you looking like you just walked into a Temu factory but for streamers. But apparently the new master plan that'll 100% guarantee you become a famous, successful streamer are these so-called live streamer training camps. Yep, actual boot camps designed to turn regular. A lot of these training programs are basically just expensive PowerPoint presentations pretending to be some secret knowledge. To pretty much turning these live stream schools into borderline pyramid schemes and charging people thousands of dollars for it.
Yeah, see, it's just a huge scam. Plus, the bigger the group is, the easier it is to rope everybody into that group into doing it. Nobody wants to be like left out. Everybody wants to do the same thing where they've already put the money into it. So now they want it to work. They want to believe it. If it's a fake scam thing, you know, then they have to admit to themselves, oh no, I've been scammed. And they don't want to do that.
So everybody suddenly became an expert and they suddenly had the secret formula.
How long before this sort of thing pops up in our countries? I think it's going to happen. I think you're going to have like some Kick streamers going to like market, oh yeah, I know the secret's growing on Kick, blah, blah, blah. They're probably just like padding their stats with bots anyway. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me actually. It'd probably happen on Twitch too. I'm sure there'll be people that just like, yeah, let's just milk people for what they're worth.
And surprise, surprise, the course costs anywhere from 980 yuan all the way up to 12,800.
Yeah, that's a bit.
But once you're inside the system, the upselling begins. Suddenly, they tell you, oh, you've only learned the basics. If you want the real techniques, you have to move on to the advanced class. That one costs 3,000 yuan. But it doesn't just stop there. If you want the real knowledge.
See, if someone was smart, they'd be like, okay, if you're so successful and you know all the tips, then why aren't you just streaming? Like, surely you'd make more money doing that than teaching everyone and giving away like your tips and secrets. These people, they just want like I wouldn't even say it's like a get rich quick scheme, but they just want like the magic bullet that's going to get them that success.
The course that normally costs 9,800 is suddenly discounted to 2,800.
God, what a bargain. I have to buy it, even though you've just artificially jacked up the price. This is like all those influencer finance bros doing the same shit.
This might violate the rules, but let's try it anyways. Then he starts flexing that his channel gets over 100,000 views every day. He says
bots, 100% bots.
For example, he shows how to hype something up like peanut oil as a bargain. But then he suggests that you quietly swap the peanut oil with a smaller bottle or a different brand. And if customers complain, no problem at all. You can return the product. Except the fee of returning usually costs half the price that you bought.
Scams layered on top of scams. Also, in China, like there's a whole culture of if you can cheat, you should cheat because it gives you an advantage. They don't care about playing fair. It's not even a factor. So I can see why so many people like push for this. They've got a pretty good setup though. Like it's a decently new building. They've got all the gear, they've got like young people who look like they know what they're talking about. How does yelling into someone's face help with running a stream to sell products? I don't see the connection there.
So instead, these schools hire instructors that honestly don't really have much experience, or they got lucky that one time and then they just package themselves as a professional live streamer because of that one.
The slightest slither of authority, and then they milk it and like, yep, this will totally work for you. Even though there's probably like other factors that gave them that success initially anyway.
So far in China right now, there are already over 60 universities that have live streaming specific programs.
I mean, they have straight up talent schools in South Korea. Like they'll take people through the whole process to get them to have a chance at being popular and building an audience, but it's very controlled. The artists themselves don't have much say in anything. There's a plan, they're meant to stick to it, and if it works, okay, yeah, you become a success, but you're now locked into a contract where you're making 10% and the agency's making 90%.
Let's take a look at a live stream dance group called Peach Island. It was actually created from people who directly came from China's idol industry. One of the founders is Do Xiaomeng, who also helped produce the survival show Chuang. The other founder is Sizia, who also used to be a manager at SM Entertainment, which is renowned in Korea's K-pop industry and the one who also launched aespa. So these weren't amateurs, they knew the idol system in and out. One of the members was Lu Yingchen, and she's only 20 years old, and she already has about 1.8 million followers.
To be fair, like if you're running a successful idol group in Japan or South Korea, why would you waste your time with that when you could go to China and have an audience of over 1 billion people? At least a 5 to 10x increase on your potential audience. So this dude's actually pretty smart.
She said that she always wanted to become an idol, but she was just born a bit too late to catch that massive era of live talent shows on TV. And if you guys know the struggles about the K-pop group idol industry, you know that effort doesn't always equal an outcome.
There's going to be a lot of nepotism and favoritism. You're not going to get a fair shot, no matter how hard you work at it.
So many people who have strived to become an idol usually end up in debt after 8 to 10 years in training.
That's nuts. Imagine training for something for a decade and then you still fail. You still don't get anywhere. You would be better off just doing it on your own or with a group of friends. Like, be a genuine grassroots level group. Like, people would rather support that than some soulless corporation that's trying to squeeze you for every bit of money. But also, these people are like straight out of high school, straight out of university, very young, very impressionable, very easy to take advantage of. All you need is some slick dude coming along saying, hey, look, we'll take you through the ropes and you're going to be making millions. And they just sign right up.
And it doesn't help that He's parents didn't approve her dancing at all. She had to secretly teach herself hip-hop dances. To make them happy, she got into university, but later got the option to study abroad in South Korea. And while she was there, she actually secretly signed a 10-year idol contract without her parents knowing. Except her parents intervened, brought her back to China, and it kind of ruined her whole plan, which eventually got her to 350,000 followers.
She probably had a real chance at it, and then parents was like, nope, you're gonna learn how to be a useful person to society.
So fast forward, they started preparing Peach Island's debut. The performers rehearsed constantly, choreography, facial expressions, stage positioning, like everything from morning to night.
So it's not pre-recorded or anything. They literally do the performance on stream and then hope that they can get direct monetization from their fans. K-popers produce music video, pump out the music video, have concerts, that type of thing. This is way different. And also, because they're all so young and you have a limited shelf life where your appeal is at its most, there's always younger people coming along like boot you out. So it'd be really competitive.
Founder Sudzie shouted, "Go." All of the performers rushed onto the stage with the song Love Emergency. Behind the scenes, you can literally see the staff constantly refreshing the Douyin page, because viewership heavily depends on Douyin's algorithm to just randomly promote your stream.
So you can do all this work, all this effort, put in all the money, you got to pay people to make the song, production team, all that, and then it's still down to chance because it's purely random.
The idols usually just earn a base salary of 8,000 yuan and just a small share of the viewer gifts.
It's a little bit over a grand. It would make way more sense to just pre-record this and then run it on the stream. What's the appeal of doing it live? Like, the audience isn't going to know. I doubt that they're interacting with people. If you did it pre-recorded, because you've got control of the studio, you could just like dim the lights and then cut to live and bring them back. And you could fake the live sections and nobody would know the difference.
And by the third day, Peach Island's viewership had dropped to 700 viewers. At their best, the group reached about 7,000 viewers, which does sound impressive. Until you realize top live streamers gain over 100,000 live viewers. Yep. So only a few people really become actual idols in this industry.
Yeah, they're at the mercy of the algorithm. All that work and you don't get a real chance.
For her right now, she still continues posting and still continues pursuing this path, which is great for her, honestly. You have to have a really strong mindset after training for years upon end and getting almost nothing.
Why would you just give up? Like, you've got all the talent now. Now you can do your own thing and actually make it a success.
Because every once in a while, somebody does make it big. Even if it's that 0.1%, that is still not 0%. And those success stories keep the dream alive. And I mean, it's no walk in the...
Yeah, that's a survivorship bias right there too. People see the few people that succeed, but they never see all the failures. And they never see the volume of failures. So they believe, they just see it. And they're like, oh, well, look, all these people are successful. I can do it too. They don't realize like what made them get successful, the work and effort that they put in. And they don't see what the people who didn't make it, what they didn't do. I don't know. It's like optimism mixed with just a complete lack of knowledge and effort, or even like bothering to like, do research to see how viable something like that really is. Yeah, that was just sad. But yeah, the Chinese idol industry is quite different. I don't know. I was going to say it's different to South Korea and Japan's. But for all I know, Japan could be doing something very similar. But if they were, I'm sure someone would have made an article on it or a short on it and it would blow up and sort of put the spotlight on it. But it just doesn't seem that way. It seems China are doing it their own way. It's very exploitative. Like, they target young girls. They lure them in with promises of riches. They pay them like bugger alls. So whatever little money they do end up making, like the studio is probably just keeping for themselves. And it would be incredibly competitive because there'd be a lot of people doing it. Think of just how many people have like phones and are willing to try and push that sort of career. It's the same over here, to be honest. Like, everybody wants to be an influencer.